Hello and welcome to another edition of Town Tours. Today we're headed out to explore this little town steep in history, lost treasures, and things that go bump in the night. Welcome to Goldfield, Nevada. Goldfield's located 170 miles north of Las Vegas, Nevada, and 260 miles south of Reno on Highway 95. As we're driving into Goldfield, you'll notice that mountain right there. That's called Columbia Mountain. That's where the majority of the mines were that made Goldfield the largest town in the state of Nevada, with a population of 20,000 people. The year was 1909. The Goldfield of today boasts a population of 300, and much of its history is still evident when you drive down any road in Goldfield. The elevation here is 5,690 feet, which means during the winter months they do get snow, as is evident with that billboard advertising Goldfield Days. It really is a lot of fun. They also have a public land auction, a bus tour of historic Goldfield, our favorite, a ghost tour. And of course they do have street dancing and an Old West gunfight. Now to get more information, go to goldfieldnevada.org and click on the Access Esmeralda County button for a full list of property for sale. If you are into metal detecting or treasure hunting of any type, this is Oasis. Make a left turn here. Go 1 block to Hidden Treasure Trading Company. Brian is the owner there. He is also a rock hound. Anything to do with treasures, whether it be trilobites, petroglyphs. Basically, he's a treasure hunting aficionado. He definitely can guide you in the right direction, and he knows all the rules and regulations, where you can go, and especially where you can't go. Goldfield has a restaurant, gas station, a market, a couple of collectible stores, an RV park, the second oldest saloon in the state of Nevada, the Santa Fe Saloon. They have 8 hotel rooms. Goldfield even has their own radio station, KGFN 89.1. It's the voice of the Old West. As you've seen, that speed limit sign there was 20 miles per hour. I point this out because this turn here, it's really 90 degrees. They've had a lot of semi-trucks come through, and they flip over right here in that turn, so make sure you go slow. And if you need a medical facility, the closest one would be in Tonopah, which is 27 miles up the road. They do have a sheriff's department here and also a fire department. I'll show you where those are at. Dusty Fender's right-hand side. This is where you get your food, also your gas. They are not open on Saturdays. So the closest place for gas would be in Tonopah. Tex Rickard, who founded Madison Square Gardens, promoted fights right here in Goldfield in the early 1900s. That's a historic fire department, 1907. The Esmeralda County Courthouse. Check this place out. Built 1907, looks exactly the same. And they love to show people around. Virgil Earp was actually a deputy sheriff here, and his oath of office is on display. This really is a good place to stop because they also have restrooms here. Goldfield Chamber of Commerce stop, get more brochures there. Right turn here to the second oldest bar in the state of Nevada. It's a Santa Fe Club. 89.1 FM, it's KGFN Radio. The left-hand side, the Goldfield Hotel. Supposedly, it's one of the scariest places on earth. It's on TV all the time. No tours are given here, but it's an interesting drive-by as it is one of the most historical buildings in all of Nevada. It was built in 1907. We are coming up on one of the lowest points here in Goldfield, and this is the location of the great flood that came through here in 1913. It started just to the left of the road here, came down through the canyon, across the road here, right through Goldfield's rest area, went out 15 miles to Alkali Dry Lake bed. Supposedly, the waves were up to 20 foot high. The flood took out over 50 homes, took out the old brewery, took out opium dens, and a lot of the red light district. So that means there's a lot of treasure still out there. On our next video, which is a road tour from Goldfield to Tonopah, we'll show you the path of the flood and also show you a few historical pictures. Goldfield RV Park, turn left here, and it's down on the left-hand side, right behind the post office. The Goldfield Library and Outdoor Museum. They house a lot of the artifacts of the old railroads that used to come through Goldfield in the early 1900s. Vanderford's Gold Strike. If you want to try your luck at panning for gold, you have to stop. As we're heading out of town here, we do have the cemetery coming up. But I want to let you know about phone cell reception. Very little here in Goldfield. The closer you get to Tonopah, you have no problems at all. As we always suggest, it's a good idea to go back to tonopahnevada.com or goldfieldnevada.org. Print out a list of businesses as well as all the emergency numbers to have with you when you're on the road. The Goldfield Cemetery is just up here on the left-hand side. You will be making a left. You'll go up about a quarter of a mile, and you're going to come across a lot of historical headstones, some dating back to 1902. RJ's Garage is on the right-hand side for any of your mechanical needs. Now, there is a ton of off-road adventures to be had here, whether it's exploring ghost towns or just exploring back roads. You will have a choice of either using Goldfield as a base camp, which has 8 hotel rooms and 11 RV sites, or heading up to Tonopah, only 26 miles away now, and they have plenty of hotel rooms and RV parks. We'd like to thank you for joining us on this edition of Town Tours, Goldfield, Nevada. The next video in this sequence is Highway 95, Goldfield to Tonopah, Nevada. We're heading north. We'll show you a couple of ghost towns, the Path of the Flood of 1913, and if you're a rock hound, the old town of Gemfield. You can see these videos at TonopahNevada.com, NevadaSilverTrails.com, and GoldfieldNevada.org. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Town Tours, and we'll see you on your next road journey.